Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are, and welcome to Pass Down Your Crown podcast. I'm your host, Pattie J, and today we have someone here that you guys have seen before, and y'all gonna be happy to see him again or not, because y'all some haters, but it's fine. And we have another young lady here. She's lovely, and we're gonna be talking about what it's like to be single mothers and single fathers, and just being black. You know, why did I say that? I want to take it out now.
Why?
Right. That was beautiful.
We're gonna take that part out. Did you hate the just being black? Yeah, it almost referenced to that.
All right,
Anyway.
cool. Leave that beginning. The beginning was beautiful, but
All
go
right,
ahead.
we're gonna keep it.
Just take the black out and just move on.
Yeah.
In 3, 2.
Go.
I can't do that all over again.
No, I'm saying keep going.
Okay, we're gonna keep going, yeah. Well, I like to start my episodes off with thorns and roses. It's when you give a thorn, which is something that happened in your week that was negative, and then we're gonna end it off with a rose. It's just something positive that happened in your week. So what's a thorn and a rose that happened for you?
Something negative that happened in my week?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my supervisor tried to pin me against my coworker. Like put us against each other. I handled it very well, so I don't really know if that's a thorn, but the thought of her trying to do that, I didn't think that was it was I ain't like that at all. But we made it a positive thing, so
that could be a rose.
that's definitely a rose. I'm never gonna throw nobody under the bus. That's
Exactly.
not cool.
That's good.
Nice.
We'll have a conversation about it together and figure it out, but I'm not gonna throw you under the bus.
That's how I am too.
So thorns and roses.
Oh, yeah. My thorn, I broke out in craziness hives. And then my rose still came out looking pretty as that's how I am. So I'm beautiful. I love
that's
myself.
right.
I love myself.
Well, a thorn for me, which is not really a thorn, but I made it a thorn because I pack everything up in one day. I had to cook for Galentine's. I got to make bouquet roses. I pack too much things up in my day. That's the thorn. The rose is I'm here. I'm going to go to the Galentine's after this and have some fun. So that's the rose.
You got a pajama set?
Yeah, I got my name on the back and everything.
Ooh,
What?
that's cute.
So Galentine's all females, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's it being held at?
Secret location.
Secret location.
Secret location.
No men allowed. No men allowed.
That's not fair.
But yeah, that's rose. But yeah, that's how I like to start off my episodes. I want people to,
That's
a little
good.
That's
warm
good.
up, have a
feel a little bit
conversation
warm.
about what they did in their week. But we're going to get into the questions.
Let's go.
So, since we're going to be talking about single motherhood and fatherhood, I would like to know, what are the stories? Where did you meet your children's father? How long did y'all date?
I met him when I was about, I want to say like 7 or 8. I was really, really young. He lived next door to my grandmother. I think his house, the building next door, burned down. He moved away. And then as I got older, when going to different blocks was a thing, we ran into each other.
Wow.
And that was it. We were stuck at the hip after that.
So what age was that you guys reconnected?
I was 16 going on 17, and we were together for 11 years. And we have 2 children together. We have 2 girls, a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Okay. And what about you, Dotto?
Well, the first one.
Yo, wait. The way you came into that.
Well, the first one.
Well, let me tell you about this one.
Kick it off.
The first one I met, I think I was in high school. I think I was freshman in college, or whatever the case is. I was actually, I was outside wilding, And long story short, like, yeah, she's my girl, but, I was wilding out. And I never knew she got pregnant. So I didn't know
What?
I had a, yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't know I had a kid until he was like 2 years old.
Wow.
But, it was hell in the beginning, but me and her, like, best of friends, like, it's like, I can say that's like my little sister in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
me and her
crazy
mad
that
cool.
happens. I told somebody that the other day.
Yeah. I was crazy that day I found out, I was just like, what does this mean? You the daddy, nigga? I was like, oh my God. In the beginning I was really angry, but it's no more. I'm so happy having my kids. But second one, I that was the right way. I can't front. Like what's the thing called court her, whatever. Yeah, I did it the right way, whatever case is. But yeah, we ain't together because
Yeah, we're going to get into it after.
Ooh,
We're
child.
going to get into it.
Yeah.
Well, my story is I met my daughters. I have 2 kids with the same person. I met him when I was 15 years old.
Wait, I'm the only statistic here?
What? You a hoe. I'm sorry.
I ain't no damn hoe.
I ain't no damn
Yeah, I met him when I was... I met him when I was 15. He was 18. So y'all could already see how that story would have went after that age gap. Yeah.
What's the age again?
15.
15 and
He was
18.
18. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. and we gonna get. I was with him for 7 years. I held up for 7 years, and eventually I just got tired of it, and I left. He was not. He was. It became warning. We're gonna talk about abuse, but he was abusive, so I got out of the situation.
Abusive physically or mentally?
All the ways you could think of.
Oh my Lord!
So I finally gained the strength 7 years later, and I left. Finally.
Jesus.
Okay. Snaps for you. That takes a lot.
Thank you. And now our relationship is. It has its good days and its bad days.
I'm
So,
surprised it
work
has
in
any
progress.
days.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it deeper. But I guess if you're comfortable sharing, I want you guys to express like why the relationship ended. If you want to go into detail, if you're comfortable expressing that.
I'm not uncomfortable. Let me just figure it out. So I feel like there's a point in time in life where growth, you have to elevate. On some platform. For me, because we were together for so long and we started so young, I really wasn't worried about marriage, although that's what I wanted. I wanted to be married to him. But I knew that we were together since we were young, and you just now starting to step into fatherhood. That was like 25, 20. You're still young. You're still a kid. You're still trying to figure life out. I wanted to elevate on different levels. Let's go to therapy. Let's figure out our conversation. Let's figure out how we're going to move forward. Let's talk about let's have a conversation about marriage. Not necessarily getting married, but let's have the conversation. Let's talk about owning businesses and where we going. And at that point, I just don't think he was ready for that. And I was kind of over it. Like, I kept pushing it, and he just kept pulling back and pulling back and pulling back. But I also feel like for men, that's who you surround yourself with. When you are in a relationship and you have people who are not in a relationship and that's who you surround yourself with, you kind of get submerged in that. It's like, I'm trying to do the right thing because this is where I want to be, but the lights get blinding. Yeah. And it's like, I'm with my friends and we hanging out, we going to the club. And it's like, bro, you done went to the club Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday, you can't chill?
Well, I like to jump in. I don't want to disrespect anything going on. I'm just saying, like, my father always said 95% of men aren't men. You know what I mean? So he wasn't a man yet.
Right.
Or whatever the case. I don't know your situation, but if you're saying, like, oh, he's been clouded and blinded, it's not that he didn't want you. It's just that he wasn't a man.
Right. But when you're a younger woman and you immerse yourself in your family, like, I want a family and we have these kids, you see it on two different levels. You see it at two different pages. You know what I'm saying? So in those moments, it feels as if you don't want me, which causes trauma for a woman. And it causes insecurities. Now, how you handle it as a man or as a person, because we already stated that he's not in a man form as of yet, right? So how you handle it, how you make that woman feel is important. That's what counts. So when I left, and I always say this, it wasn't because I didn't want to be with him, but I needed to choose myself in those moments. I felt like he's going to come. Like, he's going to come now. And you didn't show up the way I thought you were. So for me, it was like, what I have left? I don't have anything
Does he
left.
still have time to show you?
Right now?
There you go.
If you see this.
There you go. That's it right there. You doing all that. Just to know that. Get your shit together. You don't need to. You don't need to.
Answer for you, girl.
Because the thing is, you're saying all this. You're saying all that. I'm listening to you. I'm just like, she just wants you to get your shit together, nigga. Y'all got 2 kids. Obviously, she don't want it with nobody else. She don't want to be no separate.
I ain't say that.
Saying?
Your face said something.
Said it all. You talking about? We looking right at you.
Okay, hold on. Pause.
Listen, you on the pod with the God MC.
Pause.
All right, we'll answer. We're sorry. Answer it. We'll give you a chance to answer.
As I stated in the beginning, when I left, it was never because I didn't want to be with him, right? So that's not a thing. I never not wanted to be with him. But in the space that I've grown to, we could never be together. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not who I was. And we've had conversation, and he can't handle me at this capacity.
Makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't handle me at this capacity. I respect him. We are cool on all levels. Like, we still co-parent very well. We could still spend holidays together. He has somebody who he deals with now. We're cool. Like, it's all a loving environment. And when I look at him, like when you said about your kid's mother, that's like a brother to me. Like, we have all types of conversations. Like, we support each other in whatever it needs to be in those moments. It's not always perfect. I'm not saying that. I did not get on here and say that. But to be with him or to want to be with him again, that's not a thing.
You gotta give people chances. You know, people like to change. You know, you're not the same every 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You reinvent yourself.
I'm not the same the last 5 years.
Dotto, which one of the moms do you want to try it with again? You said people change, evolve. Come on.
Yeah, but
no.
Yeah, because you throwing it on me. So
His nostrils flared up and everything. He's like,
they both beautiful. Don't get it twisted. It's just that they put me through hell. And I'm just like, you're just a trigger word away. You know what I mean? So I would just like what we got right here, 2-minute conversations on the phone. You know what I mean? If you need something, I never tell them no. I don't give a fuck what it is. Yes, I need you to jump off the roof. I'm going to land on my feet. Yes, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the conversations and that's the kind of relationships that I have with both of them. You know what I mean? The beginning was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life because they kept thinking that I'm not who I'm telling them this is what's going to happen. So to prove that to someone with a mind in their head is the worst thing. Like, it's like you reinvented yourself, right? Whatever case is. And I'm telling you, girl, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do this and that. And on average, you probably dealt with a bunch of niggas who told you a whole bunch of nothing. I ain't that guy. If I tell them to do something, I'm going to do it. And then when I do it, you're going to love it. So when I tell them, hey, this is what's going to happen, and they didn't believe, but I had to show and prove, and they start to believe, now we are all friends. We're all good. I don't argue with nobody. If you want you got it. I'm sorry. I'm the idiot. They can talk all they want. Michael, I need, don't even, it's yours. Everyone's happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like my those are my friends. I wish I ain't gonna front, like I told him before too. I said I wish that we can all just put our money together and just buy a house, and then we could just live. You know, all the kids will be together. Yeah. Real, you know what I'm saying?
If in a perfect world,
No, but the thing is, they're close enough.
Yeah.
That it can actually work.
You can get a 2-family house if anything. And they could stay together and you stay in another level.
There's always going to be a babysitter. There's always going to be like, oh, what is my brother? Go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's right there. So that's what I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
Interesting. And listen, the way the economy is today.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone got a fucking good job.
Everybody going to have to shack up at some point.
Everybody has a great job. If we all put in $1,000 each, that would take care of basically everything for a 3-bedroom or even a rental for something in Connecticut or whatever the case is. Like, mortgages is like, what, $2,300, whatever? Like, we all good.
He thinks it's a win-win situation.
It is.
Okay.
See, the thing is, we can't have people with that kind of attitude.
I don't have an attitude.
I never said you had an attitude, but you got something to say.
Everybody's always going to have something to say.
See?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I didn't negate the feeling. I just say you think it's peaches and cream. I didn't say it wasn't a good idea.
Why?
Why what?
Why it's not a good idea?
I didn't say it wasn't a good idea.
You kind of skipped over a little bit. You kind of said it, but a little bit. You didn't really go into depth as to why the relationships didn't work. Because that can help her answer a question.
You said they gave him hell.
No, in the beginning. But the thing is, I can't really like go into that because I have to respect where we're at right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because me telling you the truth is not even for everybody. That's our truth. And I got to respect them.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Me, I don't give a shit, you know, whatever. But with them, I respect their privacy.
I love that.
I appreciate that.
And I respect
but I'm going to tell my story.
Jesus Lord.
I'm going to tell mine. And the reason why I think my story is important is because I used to think that way too. And I'm not going to have the conversation and bash him because I participated. Even though I was young, I still participated. And I continued to participate after becoming a grown woman and staying with him. I was with him for 7 years. But in my situation, I feel like I want to bring awareness to people, younger women, like, you know, listening. Stay away from the older men. I didn't listen. Stay away from the older men. If you're in high school and at 18, 19, 20, got the car, because that's what it was for me. He had a car, he was tall, good looking. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to get picked up from school, dropped off from school. All of that flashy stuff is what kind of attracted me to him. Me just craving that love from someone. And a lot of older guys look at younger women that don't have their, you know, they're not fully mature.
That's not fair though. But I mean, on your behalf.
I'm talking about my age group. I'm not talking about grown people with grown people. I'm talking about younger women with grown men.
I never liked that.
That is what I'm talking about.
I never liked that.
I think because I noticed it too, because it's still happening. I've noticed a lot of teenagers and women in high school are, you know, dating.
Yeah, rebellion and sickos. That's what it is. Rebellious young women and sicko old men.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it was. And before I knew it, I got into something I had no business being a part of. And we kind of, in a way, grew up together because he was very immature still, even though he was older than me. And like earlier I said, he became abusive. Like, I didn't even understand. Like, the first time, like, he, like, struck me, I didn't even think nothing of it, which was weird. Like we was like, he got mad at me about something and like hit me in the back of my head. And in my mind, I was just like, oh, like I thought of it like, oh shoot, he hit me in the back of my head. But I was like, oh, he just hit me in the back of my head. Like, I'm not in my head even registering that that's still assault. He still hit me. So that's where it like started to get worse and worse. And then we started living together when I had my second daughter. And when we lived together, that's all bets were off when we lived together. When I was living at home and he was still living at home, he was able to do stuff to me, but not so much because I live with my father. I grew up with my mother and my father. So it was only to a certain extent he could do certain things to me. So it was more verbal, emotional. You know, he's very controlling, stuff like that. But when we started living together, that was it. I literally had to fight out of that relationship.
That's so crazy. You never know who that person is until you live with that person. You always find
But I
out.
have a question for you. Sure. Did you grow up in a abusive household where you thought it was okay?
Well, I didn't grow up in an abusive household where my mother and father were being abusive towards one another, but I was abused in different ways, the way I grew up.
Physically?
Yeah, physically.
Okay.
And emotionally and verbally. But it wasn't, my parents weren't to me. Like, it was like, I lived with my mother, my father, and my great aunt. My great aunt was the person that was that way towards me. And I didn't grow up in an abusive household, but my parents were, it was a toxic relationship.
I asked that because my first relationship was an abusive relationship my first boyfriend ever. And when he hit me, I knew it was wrong. At no point should a man put his hand on a woman, period. But I was so used to seeing it that it was like, it's nothing. And then you do it again and it's like, I know.
You know what I think it was for me? I think it's because maybe, I don't know, like in my mind, if I could go back in that moment and think, I think for me, I just thought about the fact that I have older brothers and me and my older brothers fight. And the way he did it, I guess I thought about that. And I'm like, oh, it was kind of like a little slap in the back of the head. It wasn't like because he never like balled up his fist. He would always, when it did get intense, it was always smacks. It was never like a punch. It was always smacks. It was always him holding me down, stuff like that. So in my mind, because it never was a balled up fist, because that's what people usually say, I didn't understand it until it was too late. This is okay, this is crazy, you're not supposed to do that. But
okay.
Yeah. But that was my situation.
It's so crazy. Okay, I'm sorry.
Our relationship now, he tries to, like, we have our moments where I try to be cool with him, but then I'm not gonna lie, the old stuff kind of picks back up, and I can't.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go so you can let it prove itself. So what I mean by that, if you give him a chance, and then even though you got that little circle in your head.
No, I have.
Cool.
Trust me,
if he disrespect that,
I've forgiven him, and I don't hold those things against him. But he hasn't changed.
Then you don't change from your perspective.
So I just set strict boundaries now.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. There's so many ways to. Oh God, I was almost said it without trying to explain it. There's different ways to put your hand on a woman without putting your hand on a woman. See, when women want to go crazy, all you got to do. I wish I could use you as a. Can I use you as a prop for like 2 seconds? Sure. Okay, cool. Come here. All right. So she's getting all crazy, right? Come a little closer. Don't get too close. You might get the girls jealous. So, all you got to do when she's trying to fight you, grab the arm over and put it towards their chin. So if they're trying to hit you, you're far. Sense. She looks stupid. You know what I'm saying? Now she looks dumb. Yeah. You already know your strength already.
Yeah.
She's not stronger than you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now she's over here. Motherfucker, Yeah. Shut up. Now all you gotta do is this. You're not pushing her. Just
you defend it. Yeah.
You're defending yourself.
Yeah.
Now you got the.
Okay.
That's a good point.
I like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And in general, women, don't put your hands on a man.
Don't,
I stand on that.
lose.
No one should put their hands on anyone, men or women. Conversations will get heated. Walk away. But assaulting each other, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. But that brings me into the next part of the conversation about how the breakups could shift the dynamic of a relationship. Now, for me, I noticed that when me and my kid's father were together, he would show up more for my daughters, like give me money, go hustle to get some money for the kids, things like that. But once we broke up, it's as if he just gave up on giving to them. Like if I call him, it's always, I see what happened was last week I fell on my toe and I can't. So I don't know
what the fuck got you pregnant?
The lights was blinding, baby.
Very. But
it happens.
But I have noticed, and I've had conversations with other women, so other single mothers, and they say the same thing. It's as if the father measures their love for them, the love for the child, up to how they feel about the mom. So I wanted to ask you, what is your thoughts on that? On men that do that? That when they're with the mom, they all good, they deal with the kids, they family men. But when the mom and them break up, they kind of give the bare minimum.
You're not gonna like this. All right. So here's the thing, though. Because the thing is, when you guys leave, y'all feel like we're not needed. And then y'all act like y'all could do it on your own. So when we give you bare minimum, then you want to complain. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, don't try to bash me. Or don't try to like, yo, I'm trying to do, oh, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you ask me, like, I thought you got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, allow me to do what I got to do. You know, if you need something and I say no, then that's a different story. But if you need something and I never say, like, I'm just talking about myself. If I never say no, you know I'm capable of doing anything. Mm-hmm. And I always go out for my kids all the fucking time. You know what I mean? They stay with me. And, you know, the younger one stay with his mom. But it's just so beautiful how we got this lined up. But it's like, if you get out of that relationship, automatically, you think you can do it all on your own. At least you put your mind to it. Like, you know what? If he's not here, at least I know I can do both these kids by myself, whatever the case is. So when you start to do that, and then we give you like, you know, oh, why didn't you pay the full amount? Like, nigga, we still working together. Like, oh, now you want me to do, oh, now it's bare minimum now. But okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're out of that relationship, for me at least, when you're out of that relationship, I just feel like you women, most women feel like they could do it on their own. So when you see something that isn't up to your part, it's bare minimum.
Okay.
I don't think we think we could do it on our own. I think we feel like we forced, in a sense, to do it on our own.
It's the same thing.
That's not the same thing. Feeling like you can do it on your own and being forced into doing something on your own are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually,
if I have the feeling of it, that's different. If I'm just poking my chest out and saying I could do it on my own, but if you made me feel as if you're not doing your part on it and now I don't have a choice but to do it on my own, that's not two different things.
I see what she's saying.
I know, trust me, I am in the same boat when it comes to her feelings. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that when you say I'm forced into it, you was never forced. You forced yourself into it.
How did I force myself into it if you're not doing your part?
I mean, the only thing I'll say with the forcing part is, as mothers, we literally we force ourselves to do it. Like, let me explain why.
But we don't have a choice.
No, we could be deadbeats.
We have a choice.
I say this all the time. Women could be deadbeats too. We choose not to.
That's not in our
We
nature.
choose to show up, but we choose to show up. But you know why? Because we fear judgment. If women didn't care like how men didn't care, kids would just be running around having the time of their life by themselves. But because we fear that judgment and our children getting older and resenting us, we show up for our children no matter what.
Okay, I accept that. I received that.
Yeah.
But disclaimer, I haven't had that experience of the father playing less of a part. Because we weren't together. So I can't.
He's been doing his dizzle, right?
So
we've had rough patches where I'm like, you all right?
Yeah.
Everything good over there? Like, we need to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I tell everybody, that man has always shown up for them children. And we don't even live in the same state. Yep. He doesn't live in New York. He lives in a whole different state.
Say that one more time.
He doesn't live in this state.
And he shows up for his kids.
He shows up for his kids.
Exactly.
Whether it's a phone call. Like I said, it ain't always perfect. You know what I'm saying? But you give people, especially I feel like black men, or men in general, I feel like there's not a outpour of people just saying dads are doing good.
And there are men that are doing good.
They
have
are.
A lot of my male friends are fathers, and they're amazing fathers.
Thank you.
And I just want to take that time out to say that, you know, he's an amazing dad, and there's other dads, and I'm like, you serious? That's what you're doing?
And that's what I'm saying. You're good then. That means you really want
I don't.
But that's why I have her here. I want it to be. I want other women to see that it's possible to have a father that's involved. It's possible to have women that are involved and men that are involved.
And I think women have that. Think that they have to have beef.
Mm-hmm.
Like because where we come from, and I don't know about everybody else because I know we all from different places. Like a girl like me who comes from the Bronx, the south side of the Bronx, most relationships with baby mothers and baby fathers is horrible. It's literally like, this is how you talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we've already become a statistic by saying we had these children and now we in a broken home. Now we even more of a statistic by being like, we walking around saying, oh, fuck him, fuck her, SMD, doing this, Whoa.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Let's change the narrative a little bit. So let's not do that. Like, and I've had conversation with my own friends like, oh, your kid's father come in town and y'all hang out? Yeah. Oh, y'all still spend holidays together? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's all love. Like, and more so than anything for me, I just want my children to know that although we didn't work as two people, doesn't mean that we're not a family unit. Exactly. We're still a family. This is still a thing. Just that mom and dad are not a thing. You know what I'm saying? Even when he, like I say, he has a significant other, we doing birthday parties together. Let's do it. When I'm with a significant other, let's all do it together. Like, we having birthday parties, dinners. It's a thing. Why we got to do one over there and one over here? Why? I
mean, in my case, the only reason why I have the idea that he measures his love for the children with the woman he's dating is because he now has two other women that he has children with, both little girls as well. And when he was with the second mom, him and her were good. She ended up moving away. Her and I are actually cool now. We're close. We talk all the time. Great relationship. He doesn't like either one of us. Like, he treats us like crap. And the new one that just had the baby, they're good now. So they're cool. He's showing up for the child. He's taking the child to school, not to school. He's picking the child up, taking care of the baby. She's new, doing all the things. But for our kids, always a excuse or, oh, I can't, or maybe I.
On average, that third one will feel the heat.
Well, she doesn't like us either. I don't know why, but
That's
hey.
okay. She will eventually. Because it all
comes
and the thing
full
that
circle.
the thing that pisses me off is I always feel like I say that I make it easy for him. My kids get to school, get picked. Like, he picks them up from school like certain days of the week. I pick them up other days of the week. I try to make it easier. It's when I ask for more than what the minimum that I'm asking for that it becomes an argument. It becomes a disagreement.
See, that's the problem. And I was trying to say this the whole time. I feel like I'm the blueprint when it comes down to being the great dad. And this is probably something that you can relate to with your man, like whatever the case is. I mean, your ex, sorry.
Okay.
And it's going to sound crazy, but men, it's okay to be a bitch to your baby mother. Trust me. When she wants to take the reins and...
not hearing that.
No. I'm not saying be a punk ass nigga. All I'm saying is some shit
Well, that's what they heard when you said that.
All right, well, I'm gonna explain it. What I mean by it, like, yo, if she wants to run this, let her. Just listen. Trust me. She's not... Just eliminate fighting. You can't say, oh, I don't want to argue about this. The best way not to argue, she's always right. Because you know why? You don't care. You just want to see your kids. You just want to take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't agree with that because I'm not the kind of woman that wants to hear you're right.
I'm not saying you're right. I'm just saying, not just say like, because we're not in a relationship no more. Saying that we got a kid, right? We're not in a relationship. Michael, don't worry about it, baby girl. I got it. Michael, you got to, I'm sorry. Let me figure it out. Michael, wait. Cool. Whatever you say, I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, you're happy, but I'm not here for you. I want to see my children. I want my kids to be with me. So if you're good, I know you're going to leave me alone. You're not going to call me. You're not going to do it. You're going to your daddy's house. Because you know I took care of the stuff that you wanted. Those bare minimums became a minimum. It became Excel goal. That's what I'm saying. You said, Michael, they came here with dirty shoes. I'm going to buy some new shoes. What are you mad about now? Michael.
Well, then you have a great
You
point.
feel what I'm saying? Like, we're going to make sure that
because that's
whatever
all
you
we
want.
We just want you to get the things done that we asked for when we asked for it. That's it.
That's all I'm trying to say. That's what I meant by bitch ass nigga. I ain't mean like let her slap you in your face. No, none of that.
Of course not.
Whatever she asks for, no matter if you don't have it, go get it. So she can shut the fuck up.
Have it, go get it. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Don't be full of excuses.
Hold on. Could you do a little cut?
All right, we're back. Quick little coffee break, but we're back. I want to dive back in. So I wrote here. I always see jokes of fathers telling their new girl, "My baby mama won't let me see the kids." Sometimes that's the case, and sometimes that's not. So for you, Dotto, what does a man gain when given that excuse? Like, why is that a thing?
What is so funny but not funny? I was literally dealing with that 5 minutes before this podcast with my friend. Swear to God.
Wow.
They won't let me see the kid. And this is a good dude. No jail. No. Almost on a bit. Great man. Okay. Well, for what I know, I'm not gonna just because whatever she does with, I will never know. But I tell him all the time. Good. I'm glad she's doing this to you. Now put it all together, bring it to court, and show what she's doing. You want to see your kids so bad? This is how you do it.
Thank you for making that point.
Take screenshots, stamp them, make a little booklet, make us be organized. So when it's like, well, I'll put myself in there, Mr. Hall, Your Honor, on this day, I asked for it, the baby. This day I call her, hey, do you need anything? She wants to act like nothing. Then she wants to act like she hungry. This day, I get this. I need to not go through this no more. So please help me. How can we do this? Either physical joint custody or something. Help me help my child. Because right now, she will grow not to love either one of us because of what we're doing. So please, men out there, if you're going through that and you actually are a good man, put some organization together, screenshot all the negative. Do not argue through text messages. Okay? Don't even argue. Just say, okay, that's it. Do not, because they can retaliate saying, well, look at what he says to me. Exactly. This is why I said this is triggering. She wants to go crazy? Say, okay, I'm sorry. You must have had a bad day. You have a good day. be a bitch ass nigga to get what
I
you
agree
want.
with that 100% because I get irritated when I hear men say it because as a mother, if somebody takes my kid from me, I'm fighting. I'm going to court. I'm going to the police. I'm calling my friends. I'm getting a private investigator. I can't swim and I'm jumping in water for my kid. So when
And-
men say she not letting me see my kids, no, you are not going. It's unfortunate because some women do hold their children away
They
from
do.
dad,
They do.
and it is a messed up situation. But unfortunately, in a situation like that, you have to fight for your kid. You got to go to court. You got to prove yourself. Like, yo, I want to see my kid. Because if you don't let that woman have that much power
And-
to where you'll not fight for your child.
And don't be afraid to do stupid shit. Like, I'll be quick to put an Amber Alert out. You want to act like Amber Alert? We're gonna see
Because
this
I would
child.
do it too. If the father took away my kids, listen, it's up.
I'm doing
It's
the
up.
most. You're not gonna like anything I do. So just
Mariah, what are your
comply,
thoughts
but-
on that? She was over there making faces.
Any man that says the mother won't let them see the kid is a red flag for me.
Yeah.
You
But
can't do
why?
anything about that though.
Huh?
You can't, once the baby's here, then you gotta deal with the person that one of y'all die.
And I also had another question for you specifically too, from a woman's perspective.
Wait, which question am I answering first?
Answer that question first, and then I have
So
another one
just
that goes with that.
recap on the question. How do I feel about
Yeah, how do
that?
you feel about what he just said?
If a man tells me
Yeah.
my baby moms won't let me see the kid, we have to have a conversation because it's always bigger than you just can't see the kid.
That's
I was
true.
talking to a guy and he told me that his baby mother wouldn't let him see the kid, and I still can't figure it out why right now. But you're still not making the effort. I spoke to
Thank
him
you.
recently, and we're friends. We're cool. When the last time you spoke to your daughter? Yo, I ain't speak to her since like last year. Last year,
Ain't no so crazy.
buddy.
And you women want your time off.
Oh, I'm not one for that. I think one time, I'm gonna be honest, and we was like in a really bad space. I was like, you ain't getting these kids, but
That ain't right.
it was a lie. I lied. I'm not keeping my kids away from their dad. That's not beneficial to no party.
Yeah.
Not the kid, not to me, not to him. Definitely not to me. This is not gonna work. But it also, everybody's walk is different. You might have to keep the kid away for a reason. There's a reason.
Whoa, wait,
Listen, I
what?
can give a reason. Let me tell you.
There
I
are
got a reason.
reasons.
I have a reason.
There
Can I
are
get
reasons.
one?
All right, the man is
I'll
dealing
give
with a
you- no,
woman,
no.
and the woman is not fond of your kid. I don't know what's good.
No, I have a better one for you because
Let me-
I'm a prime example of my kids were not able to see their father for 5 years. Why? Because when I got an order of protection against him, and the last incident that happened, my children were there, and when the last time he assaulted me, my kids were there, and he had an object in his hand when he did it. So I called the cops. The cops said, "What happened?" They made a report. They said the kids were here. Oh, okay. Either you do what you got to do, or DCS is gonna come get your kids. So I had an option. You get an order of protection for you and those kids, or you're gonna have ACS come knock on your door and figure out why
that's
you're
what
not
I'm saying.
removing your kids out
Sometimes
of
you
that
have to.
situation. So I had no choice.
I mean, those kind of dire situations, duh.
Yeah, but in a situation like that, he was telling women. I found out
What
after the
about-
fact, she not letting me see my kids. No, it's not that I'm not letting you see your kids. You can't because you wild out and
Yeah,
assaulted me.
you
in front of
literally
them.
cannot see your kids.
There's parents who feel the need to protect their children from their father, and not in an abusive
yeah, I've
way.
been there.
It doesn't always have to be physical,
Yeah.
but there are men who are not consistent in their children's lives. So you think you want to come today, and then the kid don't see you for 7 months, and then you want to pop back in, and then you want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna come and see you," and then
Nope.
you don't come, and the kid is waiting, and then now you
think
can't.
that
true.
is beautiful. Let me explain why. Now you get to see what kind of person I was trying to protect you from.
But it
Now
doesn't
you
always
can make
work
your
that way.
own-
Kids don't think that way.
No, they don't think. But guess what? On average, it will add up over time. But don't take away from the man trying to see his child because he wants to be, absent or wants to show up this time, whatever case is. Like,
let
let
me-
him dig his own grave.
This how this goes, and I'm only saying this because I've seen it from experience with numerous of women that I'm close with, right? I always tell women. I've even had a conversation with my own nephew who's 16 from my biological brother, who I'm like, you always leave the door open for somebody, a little crack, because people are subject to change, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I leave the door open so that way kids get older. They become of an age where they make things up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to tell you anything bad about your dad or whomever. You start to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't ever want it to be a conversation, well, if my dad came and when he did come, why didn't you let him? That wasn't a me thing. That
makes
was your
sense.
dad's thing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
when their child is small and impressionable and loving, they're just kids. They're innocent.
Yeah.
Right?
You're absolutely right.
Now you got me sitting at the door with this kid fully dressed and you ain't never come. You did it one time. All right, cool. You did it 2 times. Now you're starting to irritate me. You did it 3 times. The kid looking at me, I can't answer for you because me as a
sometimes,
person, forget even as a parent, as a person, I can only be accountable for my own actions. How many times can I explain to you why somebody else did something or didn't do something? I can't account for that.
And it adds trauma to the child.
I take that back then.
Yeah, adds trauma to the child.
So there are instances where I gotta protect my kid. Yeah. You start to see what type of person you had a kid with after a while, because a lot of us don't know what we getting ourselves into when we're doing it in those moments. But when the person starts to show you who they really are, you removed yourself from that situation. How do I protect my child now?
Exactly.
I'm only trying to do what's best for my child with what I have in front of me. Nobody got the answers. I'm trying to figure it out.
Allow me to apologize then, because like I said, I'm not that person I never experienced that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just going by people I do know. Like if he don't want to pop out, let it. She will know. Oh, he wants to pick me up, but I'm gonna make plans anyway, just in case. But I'm over here thinking of someone who's coherent of what's going on, other than a child that's gonna be like, "Daddy, well, you're not coming." Okay, and then 6 months later, like, "Daddy," it's supposed to be like, what do you want? So I do apologize for even taking that stance on that, because I was really uneducated on that sense.
Yeah,
and I want to say something too. For men that's not consistent in your children's life, you got to grow up. You got to be there for a child, because you're leaving your child with trauma that the mom has to now, keep on healing those wounds that you keep reopening when you show up and you don't stay. Another thing for women. Stop keeping the kids away from the father because you're mad because he got a new girl, or he not getting you the sneakers you want. That's childish. The only way you should be keeping a child away, or that obviously is never the goal, but if you have to do that, it needs to be good reason. Like she said, it needs to be good reason. It can't just be you're mad because he didn't pick the child up. Like, that's stupid. We need to do better.
We do, yeah. Well, they do.
Because we're leaving our children with trauma. Facts. And when we're gone, our children are going to have to learn to figure out how to heal from that. So for me, I just want to say those 2 points. But another question I wanted to ask is, what are y'all thoughts on people that speak negatively about their partners that they had children with?
I feel like it's warranted at the time. You know what I'm saying? But again, anger is nothing but a moment. It's not going to last forever. Okay? Obviously, that person did something that honestly knows what triggers and buttons to press, so it will create your anger to say that about that person. But over time, when you start to really learn that this is not about me and you, this is about the team. We're both coaches, and we got a star player. Let's work together. Even though we don't really like each other like that, let's work together because of the star player. So when a person says bad things about baby mother, you're just angry because of the situation that's happening as of now. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And, hopefully things do change and gets better for that group of people.
What about you, Mariah? What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like it's immaturity. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, those words or what you're saying about them, that comes from a hurt place. Yeah. So in order to move from that place, you have to mature and grow. There's plenty of things that people could say bad things about the mother or the father, but when you, like he said, the star player, when you see the bigger picture, the child, you learn not to say those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the person is bad, you learn to stray away or remove yourself from those things. Everybody could say something bad about anybody because everybody has a perception or an opinion on everybody, whether you're doing the right or the wrong thing. What I see in somebody else may not see. I may say, oh, he's the greatest father. Somebody else may be looking like, girl, he ain't that. Exactly. He ain't no lie.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody always has something to say, but it also comes with maturity, and everything is about perception. Because what I see, like I said, and what you see is two totally different things. This camera sees something different than what this camera sees.
That's true. That's like for me and my, I've never spoken negatively about him. I've only spoken my truth. The reason why I never spoke negatively about him is because my mom has always, and my father has always, throughout the marriage, always said, you will never hear me talk negatively about your dad. And my father said the same thing about my mom. So that stuck with me, so I never did it. Even though he may have had his moments where I've heard things that he said.
He's human.
But another thing, too, is I also thought about the fact that it speaks on his character, him talking about me. And if I don't engage with that, it's going to make him look worse than me. So he's going to do me a favor, if anything.
And that's the thing. That's why I respect my baby mothers. It sounds crazy to say that. But I respect them because even if we're beefing and saying the kids with me, have a X, Y, and Z call. And you're like, no, I'll whoop your little ass. Get on the phone with your goddamn mother. And my kids know, don't you ever disrespect your mother. I don't give a damn how wrong she is. I don't give a damn whatever the case is. She's your first priority. So you make sure you go out of your way. Because that's the person who's going to forever love you besides myself. Okay, so my kids are not allowed to tell me no, or they can't tell me no about their mother, or say something. Listen, my mind is made up about your mom, but to you, that is queen mother.
Highest regard.
Yeah.
I don't care who's trying to touch in. That's queen mother to you.
But then
Shut
I have a
it
question
up.
when it comes to that, because
Please.
like in my case, even though I don't grow my children with speaking negative about their father, I do have a feeling that at some point in their life they're gonna have questions why I didn't work out, what happened in your relationship. So I'm not gonna lie.
You don't lie.
I held all the files from any time I went to court, all the files from anything that was in any report, police report, anything like that. I have it in a folder, ready to show them. I have every text message, every back and forth,
But that's
good.
Everything. This is the good stuff. When he asks and then you tell
when
the
they
truth.
become of age, if they ask, should I even expose that? Because
Absolutely.
I go back and
You're
forth with it
supposed to.
sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, why do I still have this? But then
No,
sometimes
but-
I'm like, they need to know the truth.
But that's the thing. They need to know the truth, because this truth, or whatever they've been through with you growing up, because you're not really raising your first children or whatever. You grew up with that little person. They start to see the shape of who they are. Your kids, I believe, are not bad kids. I don't think your kids are bad either. But these negatives that we went through is the reason why our kids are so fucking dope.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? We had to go through this. Like, yo, bro, like my first son, like I told him, bro, I'm not raising you, man. I don't know what I'm doing. We freestyling this.
We freestyle for real. Heavy on freestyle. Heavy on freestyle.
No, but they deserve to know if they asking, and
that
there's
makes
nothing
sense.
wrong with them telling you the truth. You're not making up something.
Yeah,
You're
and a
telling
part
them
of
what
me
it
having
is.
the file also is because I feel like my daughters have mommy and daddy issues to some degree because of the things they've seen, my older one especially. And I feel like me having the file will also, I could sit down and let her know, like when it comes onto men, when it comes onto boys, this is what you look out for. This is what could happen if you don't pay attention. This is what could happen if you don't, make sure you get to know a person first before you have children with them. I want my daughters to be overly prepared for anything that happens in their life. So
They can
for me,
take the information, but then again, like you got clouded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
You can
I
only
don't think
protect them for
right.
So,
I don't
you can
think
only
that
hold their hand for so long.
If I could put them in my pocketbook, I would.
Girl, don't work like that.
But that's why it's important that you are involved in your kid's life. You know what I mean? Especially men, you need to be involved in your children's life, especially if you have little boys. You know what I mean? Because oh my God, I almost dropped the tears now. I'm so happy that I'm so involved in my kid's life, because if I wasn't how my first child is, he's gonna be the greatest crook in the world, or he's gonna be the greatest, businessman in the world. It's not gonna be in between, because I know him. You know what I mean? And knowing, damn, it hurts. But damn, crazy. It's so important, because like they need balance.
Yeah.
They need soft and they need the hard.
Yep.
Okay,
You're right.
They need it. But if they keep getting soft, guess what? When they get in arguments, emotion's gonna drive them to act away.
Yep.
But when you got a father teach you the hard, when you get into that anger, you can think what to say. You know what I mean? You can pull back and go, yo, how I'm gonna attack this girl. However, smart, wrong, whatever, you'll know what to do. But if you leave with emotions, you're automatically wrong.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, that brings me to the next question I had. Are any of you dating? And the reason why I asked this is because I believe children need a mother and a father. And in some cases, with being a single parent, you would want to, have a man come in your life, a woman come in your life. What is your thoughts on introducing a person to your children?
I thought you was going to ask me this question, and I thought about it, and I was in the shower. I don't know why, but I thought about this.
Because children need both. So you got to date. You got to, you don't have to be with a man. You don't have to be with somebody.
Children do need both. However, I'm not looking for a father for them. They have one, right? Anything that you add on to it is a bonus.
Yeah, of course.
After I left the girl's dad, I was in a relationship, and that was like fresh out the relationship. I was head in the clouds. I didn't know if I was coming or going at that point. And I did introduce him to my girls. He loved them. They loved him.
How long it took?
I told you my head was in the clouds. Maybe it ain't take a long time. I was just thugging and bugging. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, they loved him. He loved them. But that relationship became it was very toxic. Like, we argued all the time. And I went from a relationship. Me and the girl's father barely argued. He wasn't an argumentative person. So I went from one extreme to the other. And then my oldest daughter started saying comments like, he's toxic. Like, and she was young.
Kids are so smart.
And she's like, what's going on? And then I had to pull myself back. Like, wait, hold on. And after that, I don't do that. I've dated guys and they've been around, but never at the capacity or the instance that. I mean, I haven't had a boyfriend after that either. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But if anybody has been around, this is my friend. You understand what I'm saying? I don't bring anybody around, and this is I learned my lesson because I have 2 girls. It's very important for them to know that, one, we're not just doing that. Like, that's not how this goes. No, it's not just every man. That's not how we operate here. But it's important for them to see the right things. They've seen a lot. They're going to see the wrong things regardless. Of course, yeah. But it's very important to show them the right way as best as you possibly can. So for me, I want to get to know the person first for a period of time before I start bringing them around my kid.
Praise the Lord.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you never know. And I also, if I'm dating somebody, if they have a kid, how you operate with your kid? How does that work over there? At some point, when you bring them together, that's when you really start to see the dynamic.
True. That's true.
Well, if you operate with your kid like this and I operate with my kid like this, how do they mesh? How do they go together?
That's true. What about you, Dotto?
Well, I like protecting my social media life, so I'm going to pass on that. But the good thing about this, right, is that when my baby mothers actually meet someone, I tend to go meet them. And I always tell everyone the same spiel. Listen, I don't care what you do with that girl. Yell, fight, argue, whatever case is. Don't let that little nigga call me. Have a good day.
Fair enough.
Have a good day.
Fair enough. In my case, I'm going to piggyback on what you said. I was young. I was with somebody for 7 years. So as soon as I got out of it, for some reason in my mind, because my mother is married to my father for 30 plus years. My sister's still with her children's father. My other sister's with her children's father. My little brother's still with his baby mother. I felt a sense of pressure where I'm like, I need to give my children a father because their dad wasn't consistent enough. So I craved that feeling of, I have to fill this gap up. So let me fill it up with a man. Let me make my children have that. And fortunately enough, even though I dated, and I unfortunately, with being young and immature and not knowing any better, I introduced my children to multiple people. I dated them for long periods of time, but they were great men. They didn't treat my children anyway. Thank God. They were respectful. I never let them be with them alone, weird stuff like that. But looking back, I could see how me wanting to fill in that gap, how I didn't focus on them. I should have just focused on them. I should have just locked in with them. And then later on, that gap could have been filled in other ways.
It was so crazy. And my eldest son, even my younger son, but I'm going with, because, he's been here 16 years. He's probably met, out of 16 years, besides his mother, 3 women. That's my youngest sons, so that's one, and those current 2 that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't allow people around my children, and the reason why I don't allow them around my children is because when you break my heart, you're not allowed to break this person's heart, because when I brought you around my child,
but you know what's funny?
You're breaking up with them too.
But the crazy thing is, the last person I dated, we dated for 3 years. And him and my daughters loved each other, like, to the point where sometimes they like, if he came to the school for something, they'll just say, "Oh, that's my stepdad."
Right.
Like that. That's how much they cared about him. They don't want to see him, but he still wants to see them. Like we have a cool relationship. Like I have great relationships with my exes. Like we're still friends to this day. We have no beef. But my daughters just say, I asked them, like, "Are you okay with still having a conversation?" And my daughters be like, "No, I'm okay, I'm good." But they still want to be in my children's life because they, like, my daughters.
Well, they can go somewhere.
But I don't stop it though. I would never stop it. That's just me. I would never stop it. Like if my daughters felt comfortable with still having a conversation on FaceTime and like seeing them, because he was in their life for 3 years.
I feel you,
I wouldn't care. But
if the babies ask, that's one thing. But
yeah, they said no.
If the person asks, come on now, go about your business, sir.
Yeah, the breaking the heart thing is the problem.
But see, that's the thing. For me, my thought on it is different, because with friendships, you and a friend break up. Would you, if in my case, in my friendships, me and a friend don't got to be friends, and I'm still going to be involved in the child's life. That's just me. I'm still going to send gifts. I'm still going to show up to birthday parties, even though me and you don't talk, and I'm be respectful. So if it's the same thing for a female friend, I view it the same for a person. Like, me and a person may not get along still, but if they still want to be involved in my children's life in a regular way, I don't see an issue in it.
So I don't know why, but my high yellow friend over here, I think we're on the same page with this one. Like,
well, perspective.
I ain't gonna have nobody come up in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to a birthday party. You better not come here. I don't think that you should be here. You go ahead about yourself. Like, you trying to, at that point, I just feel like you're just trying to be funny.
Well, I guess I don't see it in that way.
I get what you're saying. Sometimes there's a genuine care, like how he's asking to see the kids. I get it.
Because, like, our relationship, I guess it's also on how the relationship ended. Our relationship didn't end on turmoil. It was no toxicity. It was no cheating. It was none of those things. No abuse, no none of that.
Yeah, but when you break it off, everything's off.
We just realized that we're just not for each other. It was no beef. So that's why I guess I view him that way. If it was a situation where we were beefing and it was like, oh, you were disrespectful, you broke my heart, da da da, fine. But for me, I guess because we ended off where we're still able to be friends and respect each other.
Okay, I see where we go with that one. Cool. I'm talking about when we ended on the wrong
On the wrong,
foot.
then yeah, you could fuck off.
Yeah, but I want to see the kids. Man, get up out of here.
No,
yeah, you're trying to be funny.
Not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm talking about if you
Save it for David.
I'm talking about if you just outgrew each other and y'all still have a respectful relationship and y'all still have friendship. I don't see an issue with the person still being able to see your, say hi or whatever, or bring a gift to the birthday party. Fine, if you have that cordial relationship. But if it's beef, of course, it's up forever.
That's what I'm saying. I thought y'all broke up because he did wrong type shit. But whatever.
No. I'm on your side. I'm just talking about the other. I'm just trying to give another perspective on. I feel if y'all end up on, because some people end up being friends, great friends.
Right.
But no, I'm on your side with that. We on the same page. But I guess I also want to talk about being a single mother and dating, because a lot of the times I feel like.
Wait, we just did that, right?
Huh? No, but I want to talk about something else when it comes on to single mothers dating. Okay. I think it's a bit unfair, but when a single mother's dating, we get looked at like hochies, like hoes. But when men are dating multiple women, it's not a problem. Y'all all good. Why? Talk about it. Why is this a thing? Why can't mama get some too?
You're gonna hate this answer. But y'all know better.
About to piss me off,
y'all know better. Y'all are the strongest. Y'all the strongest being on this earth. Y'all are the smartest beings on this earth. Y'all are the most cherishable beings on this earth. So when you invite somebody into that cookie jar, and his hands are dirty, you feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I feel like mama could do what she want to do as long as the kids ain't involved.
Mama could do what she...
If mama want to go have a time, let her have a time. But why are we getting looked at a way if we are?
Because mama going to do what she want to do. But the thing is, you're now dealing with... Mama want to do with children, which are my pieces of gold too. Like, that ain't just your property over there.
But it's the same for a man. So what's the difference?
But the thing is like this. I'm going to tell you right now, and it's going to suck to hear this. But women love with the heart. Men do things for the mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, like, I
accept that. I'm on the fence with that, but
like, for instance, when a girl goes, so what are we? Bro. What you talk about? Right there tells me you want something more because your heart is telling you what you want. I'm going like this because I'm just like, bro, aren't we just fucking? Aren't we just having fun? Why you gotta make it weird? Can we not go there?
I mean, the reason why I said I'm on the fence because I've learned as I'm getting older to not be that way, not to think with my heart anymore. I don't think with my heart
dangerous.
Anymore. No, but hear me.
It's the best thing ever. Don't think with your heart.
I have an older brother. My older brother taught me this from young, but I didn't hear it. But now I understand it as a grown ass woman. When a man does what you did and says, "What are we?" First off, I don't ask men, "What are we?" If you want something more of me, you'll tell me. If you don't, I know where we stand. I'll see you today, and I'll see Billy tomorrow. That's how I view it. What?
That's some whole shit.
How is this some whole shit? Doesn't mean I have to have sex with Billy. Doesn't mean I have to have intercourse with Billy. If I go out with you on Monday and you said, and you have a conversation about, okay, so what is where are we? I don't ask that question, but let's say for the sake of the conversation, I say, what are we? And the man goes, oh, okay. I'll split the check. See you never. And I'm going with somebody else. That's how I view it. Because I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you anymore. You don't want nothing from me anymore. Have a good day, good riddance, goodbye. And I'm going to go see the next one. Doesn't mean I have to have sex. Doesn't mean I have to do anything inappropriate. But I'm moving on to the next. That's just how I think now.
No, I get that what you're trying to say there. I like how you saved that. Kudos to you. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. Like, yo, I'm
not saying sleep with everybody.
No, I'm saying I answered it like, but it makes me think like, am I ready for this? Can I go try this? Mm. Is she the perfect person I want to deal with for the next whatever timing? Well, I got to make this decision right now.
But that's why I always go into a situation with expressing what I want. I'm dating to marry. And if you're not, that's okay. That's okay.
So you go out with Billy next day? Give me some time to think.
What are you thinking about? You should know if you're dating to marry or not. That should be something already in your mind. As an adult, at a certain age, you should know what you're doing. Either you dating to marry or you dating to have fun. It's one or the other. You should know that.
No, I shouldn't. Why can't we just have fun, and then if things go that way, then yeah, let me go think that way.
That's
But
a typical man answer.
No. See, listen, we could date to marry, and we could still go our separate ways. We could be on the path of dating to marry, and we figure out that we're not for each other, and you still go your separate ways. That's fine. But I'm dating to marry. I want to be married. I want to have a husband. I want to build a family for my.
So you're gonna keep rolling the dice until you land on 7?
Yeah. And if I don't ever, that's okay.
But that's her intent. That's what she's saying.
You're the same way?
I ain't say that.
It was a question mark after that.
It was even a time I even had a conversation with a guy. He was cool, whatever, handsome, had this stuff going on. I was like, okay, so what is your intention? Are you dating to marry? Or are you just dating to have fun? Oh, I'm just going with the flow. I said, oh, okay. We're going to flow right back into the friend zone. Because I don't do flow.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't do flow.
Yeah, what about you?
She making noises. Nah, talk. You making noises over there.
In my most recent months in life, I'm dating to see if I want to be in a relationship. So for a very long time, after the ex, the kid's father and the ex, I was like, the relationships is over for me. I'm done with it. Like, I don't want no parts.
So, not trying to jump in there, and I'm just going to ask something because we're adults.
Of course.
Between these times, are you like having sex with people?
Multiple people? Absolutely.
No, with
we
people.
don't do that.
I say with people. With people.
Have I had relationships or situationships, so to speak? Absolutely. I'm not out here by myself. You know what I'm saying? But I was at a point where, as she just expressed, where I was just having fun because I took that's why when you said you don't want to lead with your heart, I took my heart out of everything because I was so hurt by everything. I was like, man, everything. Like, I really I got to the point where I was really acting like a boy. And I was not being myself. But it was because I put a shield on myself to protect myself. And now I'm in a space. I want to disagree with that. I want to disagree with that only because that's the fight I'm in currently. Like, I put this shield on myself. I armored myself up and I'm like, I'm fighting this fight. Nobody's going to tell me anything because I'm so hurt. I'm so this, I'm so that. That now I'm in a space where I'm trying to take the shield off. And it's the most confusing thing I've ever done.
No, what I think,
because I'm trying to figure out, I need to still protect myself, but from who and for how long?
Because that's the thing.
But see, we're going to use the word Asada uses. We're going to throw her in here.
Yeah, discernment. Of course. We
got to just learn to have discernment.
There.
When she put that in my head, the word discernment, I think about that in anything in my life.
But here's what happens with discernment. Discernment is just not just a thing. That's something
you have to build.
That's something you build, but that's when you grow.
Yourself.
That's not building trust with yourself. That's building trust with God. Discernment just don't come from nowhere. You build that relationship. And that's where I'm at. I'm building a relationship with God. And it's not just discernment. Sometimes you got to turn off all the noise in order to hear him. But if you got 10 things going on, it's very hard to hear. So that's the fight I'm battling with myself. I'm taking this armor off. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I want to take it off. Now I'm going to focus on one person. I'm dating now. Okay, we're going to date this person. But now because of all of the trauma you've been through, you're taking off the armor.
It's hard.
But which pieces am I taking off, and how fast am I taking them off?
Yeah, but
I think,
rush it though.
I'm not rushing it.
Listen, in a perfect world,
I'm not rushing it. It's a battle of where I came from and what I want to be.
Yeah. But I think for me, in general,
and then you throw the kids in there.
Yeah, but I think in general,
now we having a party.
What we need is, I think women need to split. We need to be partially masculine and partially feminine, and men need to do the same, so we can understand each other. Listen, hear me. Listen. Feminine as in, for example, feminine traits, in my opinion, is emotion. Men need to get on that emotional side.
No, you're absolutely wrong.
I feel like being logical is a masculine trait. So women need to become a little more logical. If we all just split and get a little bit of both, then we could all be together and move forward. Because we're not going to ever understand each other if we keep on being, I'm emotional, you're logical.
Because the thing is, you women, and I got to say, I'm going to say majority of women, when men be emotional, that's your way to attack an argument. That's why we don't open up to y'all ever, because when we want to cry, we want to talk like, oh, I've been through it for that. You'll be there consoling me, and you'll be there at 100%. God forbid 4 months later or a year later, we get into a fight. Well, that's why yo bitch ass did.
No, but
y'all don't shake your head. Everyone in here did this. Every single person in here did it.
Because hands on God, I've never done that to a man. Anytime a man has come to me and opened up, I've never done
Pattie,
that.
How sharp you are.
I'm telling you, and I will own up to it. If I did, I would say it. I would say it.
So let me take it back. Most women or some women use our emotions as an attack mechanism.
It's true.
Mechanism.
You're
yes,
right.
they do.
You're not wrong.
Don't use your
You're not
emotions to
wrong.
manipulate
But you're
me.
not
Then I'm
wrong.
gonna call you a bitch. In 4
No,
months.
but you're not wrong for what you're saying
Because
because it's true. I've seen it happen. He's not wrong. I've seen it happen. I've seen women do it.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
get
I
it.
just went through it just recently.
But this is why I say that we need to we need to both split. We need to get masculine and feminine because the masculine part will kick in and we'll know better than to do that. The part of that loyalty part where it's like, yo, he came to me and opened up and said these things to me. I should know better. That should kick in my mind and know, like, yo, I'm not gonna kick him while he's down. If he I'm not gonna do that.
But you don't know what brought you there. You don't know where he's gonna take you to get you there. He might disrespect you to the point where you have to start saying stuff like that.
I don't think you should ever stoop down to that level to ever do that to somebody. That's just
You
me.
can't say anything about a moment because you're in it.
You have to, but you know what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Again,
I'm sorry.
you are in the moment. You need to use what you can do to cope
Never
yourself.
said something that came out your mouth and immediately when it left your mouth, you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have said that.
I used to. I don't do that anymore. Well,
God
I do
bless
not
you.
do that. I think before I speak. I forced myself to do
working
that
on that.
because I was very
every day.
nasty with my mouth. Trust me, I was in a situation where I wanted to pull out all the things and throw it at him. But when I realized like, yo, the reason why I don't do that is because I feel like for me, I think about how I feel. If I come to you and I'm vulnerable and I'm crying to you, and then we get into an argument, you throw it in my face. That feeling I feel, I would never want to put that on somebody.
Yeah, and I get into arguments. The thing is, I would never, one, call a female a B. No, there's another B word, fellas out there that you can use on women. They'll be even more hurt. Just call her a bottle girl.
What?
I guarantee you that would break her. Oh, you call me a what? Because you know what the bottle girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to use the B word. I took that B word out of my vocabulary, so even when I say it, it sounds like a fucking joke. Like, I get laughed at. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know how to be mean to females because it's like, I know you're upset, so anything I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to make you more upset. So,
why is that?
But this is why I think this is why it's important to have emotional intelligence. You gotta know when
so
to.
I'm going to bring you somewhere else.
Listen, this is why I said emotional intelligence is important. Because, like, for example, if me and my partner is going at it and he's saying mean things, for me, the way I think now, I know he's angry. He's just saying mean things. He's angry. He wants my attention. What I like to do now is I don't engage in that. I'll say to you, I don't engage in that type of behavior. And until you're ready to have a respectful conversation, I'm here. But until then, get out of my face. We're not doing that. I don't even engage in that anymore. Where I gotta get out of character enough to be like, oh, you a dirty hole. You living in a... No, I'm not doing that. I won't participate. You be talking to yourself. Bye.
So the thing is, when I was dealing with a certain somebody, that mechanism came as the frontier of the arguments to the point where it's just like, oh, that's what you got? That's what you was waiting for to do? All right, get the fuck out of my face. It's just like, you didn't even let it build to even get you there. And that showed me that women feel like hurting someone like that is the way to pound them. No, bro. You know how you hurt a man? Don't say nothing.
Or leave.
That's part of the don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Even me. I like doing like if me and you argue.
Why you want to argue with me?
But since we...
I don't argue. The thing is, I don't argue. It's two things I'm going to do. One,
Old men say they don't argue. I ain't arguing.
I mean, if I don't argue, because I like the fun of it, like I be being funny. But like if we got to an argument, I can't. Oh, it's my favorite. I haven't done it to a certain somebody yet, but I've done it so many times. You argue, right? And I go, hold on, baby, come with me. Come here.
That pisses me off.
Come here. And I walk him to the bathroom. I put him in front of the mirror and be like, take your time.
Let me tell you something. He an individual I don't want to deal with because I'm working on myself. And you, I might want to punch you out.
That's a good one, though. I'm not gonna...
What did I do?
Because then you're gonna laugh. As a woman, my man did that too. I would laugh. I would look at him and be like, did you just...
You feel me? Take your time. That person will listen to you all day long. Guess who won't?
Me.
Peace.
Yeah, but listen,
likes to play
I feel like
a lassie.
arguing. There's a way to argue.
Arguing
Argument is normal in my opinion. I feel like as long as it's healthy, you could have a healthy argument, a disagreement, and it be healthy.
There you go.
It don't gotta be you know going below the belt. You being disrespectful. You don't have to do all of that.
I'm not here for that.
Trust me, I do
love
trust
it
me, I know.
because
you can
I'm an
have
educator.
a disagreement and it be respectful. You can.
I'm not here for the name calling and all of that.
Yeah.
No. It's all about education. Why are you mad? When I break down why I'm mad, it'd be the funniest shit because I'm so intellectual.
Instead of us keep on talking about arguing, how about we talk about how we can move forward with co-parenting? What are some ways that as Black people, Black men and women, we can come together and co-parent and have a healthy relationship? You are an example of that. You are an example of that. So what can you advice would you give to others
Be
on how
a
they can
bitch
sustain
ass
that relationship?
nigga. Whatever they want, they got. I swear to Christ, if you give them something to whatever they're complaining about, and you stop that complaint, I guarantee you. I mean, he did do that, so they got nothing to talk about. Make women feel stupid. Not in this, you know what I mean by...
Fix that up a bit.
Let me fix it up. Basically, prove a point where it's just like, what are you arguing about now? You got that? You told me to do that. I fucked up here. I took accountability. I know, don't choke on that word. They took accountability, okay?
Got beef with me, yeah.
They took accountability, and I changed my way for that situation to make it better for your stance. There's nothing else you need to be arguing about. It's okay to start to listen to these females. That's all they want you to do is just fucking take the time, look them in the eye, and let them just go off, and you listen and you respond correctly. Because after that, anything she's arguing about for, now you just a dummy by yourself doing what you're doing.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Stop fighting with women. You will always lose.
What about you? What is your advice?
I think to just focus on yourself and what you're doing and not somebody else's shortcomings. That's what I do. I don't focus on necessarily what the other parent is not doing. That's not helpful for the situation. And I feel like effective communication always goes a long way.
Boom, bingo.
We can have a conversation about it. That don't mean we're going to agree about it. That don't mean we're going to...
But you put it in the air and
but
it allows them to change.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? For most people, it's far-fetched for them because maybe the other person is not easy to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to my first point. If you're focusing on yourself...
That's true.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to focus on that I told you 30 times already that you got to do something. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
I just got to put it in a different perspective and look at it from a different view because if you keep focusing on somebody else's shortcomings, for me, that's going to drive me
That is
insane.
that's crazy you say that, bro.
That's going to drive me literally nuts. If I keep saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, why you didn't do it, why you didn't do it like this, I told you need to be at 6:30. That's, there's no productivity in that at all.
Yo, and it's so crazy. And anybody out there, women and men, sometimes, what's so dope about like my relationship with my baby mothers is just like, I would hit them up like, hey, how are you doing? And they'll tell you.
That's good.
Because you know why? Now they're feeling comfortable more than they already know what you... Oh, I mean, don't be afraid. I know we've been through our shit, but let's not forget our friendship first.
Exactly.
You're more than welcome to tell me whatever you want. And it's judgment free because clearly what you put me through, I should have put it out in the world and I didn't. So whatever you're going through, just talk to me.
It's important to have check-ins with the co-parent. But
Check-in,
everybody
bro.
don't have that. That's a luxury.
Luxury.
It is.
That's a luxury. Everybody don't have that. Everybody can't text the other person and you know what I'm saying?
True.
How's it going? How you doing? What's going on with you today? But that's a luxury to check in like, hey, you good? Everything is all right? We're not doing it every day, but
I did that with my baby mother the other day. And then
I text the girl's father sometimes, hey, how you doing? First of all, you don't know what that person is carrying, right? So if I don't know what he's carrying as a man, how can I expect him to be present for the girls? And I'm not saying that that's the situation, but it's helpful sometimes. Like, yo, this is why I didn't call in 2 days. Or this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I could better assess the situation as opposed to like, this fucking nigga ain't call the kids in 2 days.
Brings it
What's
back to
his deal?
communication.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what the person is going through. That's why you can't focus on the other person. You got to focus on yourself.
Yeah, because I don't be calling my kids every single day.
If I'm approaching this situation with my best intent, with my best ability, checking in on you and your well-being, there's no ill intent as opposed to me hitting you up. What's your deal? Why you ain't hit the... Whoa, girl, my car done got broken into, the tie. You don't know what the person is going through. And you coming at me with this, I didn't speak to the kids in 2 days. Yeah. Girl, I didn't even know what was happening the last 2 days.
I want to give advice for people that, aren't able to have the relationships that you guys have where you're able to communicate and check in on another person. So for me, I feel like for people that have relationships like mine with the partner that they have children with, set boundaries. That would be my advice. Set boundaries. Because I've set a lot of boundaries. I make it only about my kids. Only about them. When we're in front of the kids, how you doing? having a good day. All right, cool. You sit here, I sit there, and we cool. No, because not all the time is good. Like that what y'all have is goals. I would love to have a cordial relationship, but for those who can't, I feel like we should just be open to setting boundaries, and
No, you're
sticking to
right.
them, and respecting each other's.
I mean, there's no boundaries in my relationship with my baby mother. You know what I'm saying? It's just all out of respect. Because, you know, like if one of the children are staying with whatever, me or her, for a week, and we don't be like, why the fuck you ain't called it? I mean, nigga, you're probably going to somewhere. You got to get shit done. This is your time alone to go figure you out. If you need something, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, and I want to say this out loud, like, men and women, just say, hey, I'm just checking in. Yeah. I swear to God, that opposite person that you're telling that to
will soften them up.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with that. Well, now that we're coming to a close, because we have ran out of time, I want to give you guys something. And before I gift it to you guys, I want to tell y'all something, speak some positivity onto both of you. So I wrote it down because I like to, I write my stuff down. So I'm going to read it now. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation for both of you. Today, I would like to give you guys crowns. I have it here. It's keepsakes and symbols of the incredible journey you are both on as being parents. And when you receive these crowns, may they also represent you receiving your flowers while you're here. You deserve to be celebrated for the love and dedication you pour into your children every day. And your hard work and resilience truly shine, and it's inspiring to see how you nurture and support your family. You both are remarkable role models, and your commitment to being the best mother and father are commendable. Thank you for being such positive influences and for the love you share with both of your children, with all of your children. So these crowns will be for you guys. I'll give it to y'all at the end. And also at the end of my podcast.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. And at the end of my podcast, I like to leave everyone with positive affirmations to carry them through their week. This is specifically for this conversation and how you could be positivity for parents and things like that. So the first affirmation is, I am resilient and capable. Each day I give my best to nurture and empower my child. I am creating a loving and supportive environment for my child, and my strength inspires them to thrive. And I am worthy of happiness and success. I choose to rise above challenges and inspire my child with my strength. Now, if you guys want to shout out any social medias,
of course,
you can.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
I only have TikTok.
Well, you can shout out your TikTok.
I don't even know it. Instagram and nothing?
I don't have Instagram at the moment. I take social media breaks, and this is mine.
Okay. Well, one day she'll be on socials again.
Yes. You can follow the God MC M.Ananhata at M. Wait, that's my other shit. That's my. Okay, it's Lord Dotto on Instagram. LORDDOTTO. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm that nigga, of course. I'm good looking. I got a beautiful smile.
Ladies, get a DM.
No, don't get in my DMs. I'm the one. Yo, bro, you know what's so crazy about getting in my DMs? Like, for instance, like I used to bag chicks all the time.
Yo, why you sent him on this?
Nah, I'm just saying. Like, when I used to bag chicks all the time, I get their number. I would never call them.
So don't go in his DMs. He's not gonna call you.
This is who you stay
Don't call me. Don't call my DM. I might, you know what I'm saying? But I'm never gonna link you.
Okay, don't waste your time. All right, we got it. And y'all know my Instagram. I am Pattie J, and also at Pass Down Your Crown. We have TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all the other things. Follow us, support us, like and comment, all of those good things. And until next time, bye.
All right, have a good one, guys.